Oh, bitchin', is this in 3D? No, but your face is.
Oh, like I hate 3D.
It appears as though you forgot our french fries and our Coke. Fish head.
Oh, well, Peter Piper picked a pepper. I guess I did. Whoa.
Welcome to the Shermer High Alumni Association. I'm Kristen.
I'm Janine.
And I'm Carol.
And we rewatch movies from the 80s to determine, did that age well?
This week's movie is Valley Girl, a movie about a popular Valley teen who risks her entire social life by falling for a Hollywood punk. It is like, for sure, the most iconic 80s love story with the most bitchin' soundtrack.
Like, totally. Join us as we rewind, rewatch, and remember the decade that shaped us. Hello, sisters.
Hello, Carol.
What's
Hello,
happening?
Janine.
Hello, Kristen. How are you?
Hello, Carol.
Hello,
That's great.
Kristen and Janine.
It's in the high 90s out here, so it's a
Ew.
little toasty.
Ew.
Yeah.
So you can just put like food on your balcony and just let it cook?
100% you could.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's been like 84 this week here, right?
Yeah, we're getting into
That's
fallish
August.
weather with the 80s.
It's decent August. I actually have nothing going on this weekend, which is so weird and it's so lovely.
I love that for you.
I actually have
Me
some
too.
plans that were just canceled today, which was like, all right. You're going to go like hang out in San Francisco and sit in Dolores Park and drink, but we'll do that another time. But now I'm like, I'm going to go lay by a pool. Have you guys ever used Resort Pass?
No.
No, but I have looked into it.
Yeah, download the app, Janine, for as often as you like to go sit by a pool.
Where would we
Um,
use that around here?
Oh, you've got tons of places. Basically, you get the access to a hotel pool for a day.
Ooh, that does not sound appealing to me at all.
No, I know it doesn't. But if I can find a lounger in the shade with a book and I'm water adjacent, I am so happy.
Yeah.
The place by us here is like $30 and it's a mansion. So I don't know. Maybe our pool here is just bleh.
That's like Cleveland pools. Like City of Cleveland pools. I
Oh,
live.
like our subdivision, like mom and dad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't live in a subdivision. I live in Cleveland.
I would totally go to mom and dad's pool like all the time, but it's just a pool.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
Like you can't bring in floaties or there's no
Like they have a
slide
water
or diving
pool.
board or
There's no arcade.
it's just a hole with water.
Yeah. You want like a water slide.
I
like
want a full aquatic center.
Like Rocky River has.
So can I assume that we've all seen this movie prior to this?
About 8,000 times.
Okay, all right.
I think I watched it 8,000 times because you guys watched it 8,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's our fault, Carol.
It is your fault.
Yeah, you don't have to blame us for everything.
I'm
Just
the youngest.
because
I'm
you were
allowed to do that.
Doesn't make us the reason you had to watch a bunch of bad movies.
Yeah.
No,
But blame our parents, okay?
I blame our parents for leaving me alone with you guys to make me watch these movies.
How dare you? We were awesome.
Yes, for sure.
Alright.
For
And-
sure.
This week's movie is Valley Girl.
I love it.
It is. So Valley Girl is a 1983 romantic comedy that captures the vibrant culture clash between two distinct Los Angeles teenage worlds. The story follows Julie Richmond, a popular trend-setting Valley Girl from San Fernando Valley, who grows tired of her arrogant boyfriend and her shallow, conformist social circle. When she meets Randy, a raw, edgy Hollywood punk rocker With a sweet heart, the two share an instant, undeniable connection. As their whirlwind romance blossoms against a backdrop of iconic new wave music, Julie faces intense peer pressure from her judgmental friends to dump him, forcing her to choose between the safety of her social status and the thrill of breaking the mold.
Said.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Love that. So we have one of our main characters, the one, the only Nicolas Cage. Crowd roar. Who's missing that? Yeah. Who was born Nicholas Kim Coppola on January 7th, 1964, and he is an American actor and film producer. He is the recipient of various accolades, including an Academy Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Golden Globe Award, as well as nominations for 2 BAFTA awards. Known for his versatility as an actor, Cage's work across diverse film genres has gained him a significant cult following. And I would say significant.
Yeah.
Films in which he has appeared have grossed over $6.4 billion worldwide. Born into the Coppola family, Cage began his career in films such as Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Valley Girl, as well as various films by his uncle Francis Ford Coppola, such as Rumblefish, The Cotton Club, and Peggy Sue Got Married. He received critical success for his roles in Moonstruck and Raising Arizona, before earning an Academy Award for Best Actor for the dramatic film Leaving Las Vegas. He was Oscar nominated for playing twins Charlie and Donald Kaufman in the comedy drama film adaptation. For his contributions to the film industry, he was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1998. He was ranked number 40 in Empire Magazine's The Top 100 Movie Stars of All Time list in 2007 and was placed number 37 in Premier's 100 Most Powerful People in Hollywood in 2000. Nicolas Cage was also voted one of the 50 greatest actors of all time in a 2022 readers poll by Empire Magazine. He plays Randy in this film.
We have Deborah Lynn Foreman, who was born October 12th, 1962. She is an American actress and photographer, best known for her breakout role as Julie Richmond in the 1983 cult classic Valley Girl, where she starred opposite Nicolas Cage. Her performance made her one of the defining faces of the 80s teen cinema and launched a successful acting career throughout the decade. In addition to Valley Girl, Foreman became a favorite among horror fans, earning Scream Queen status, with memorable roles in films including April Fool's Day, Waxwork, Destroyer, and Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat. After retiring from acting in 1991...
I've literally never heard of any of those. Have you? I've heard of April Fool's Day.
I've heard of April Fool's Day.
Okay.
I think that's it.
I live under a rock. Go on.
After retiring from acting in 1991, Foreman transitioned to a career as a professional photographer. She later delighted longtime fans with a cameo appearance in the 2020 remake of Valley Girl, paying tribute to the film that made her a pop culture icon. Again, she plays Julie in this film.
We also have E.G. Daily, who
Our
was born
girl.
Elizabeth Ann Gutman, born September 11th, 1961, known professionally as E.G. Daily or Elizabeth Daily, who is an American actress and singer. We went over her bio in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but here's a recap. In animation, Daly is known for voicing Buttercup on the Powerpuff Girls, Tommy Pickles on Rugrats, and its spin-off All Grown Up, Rudy to Booty on Chalk Zone, and Julius on Julius Jr. She also voiced the title character in the live-action film Babe, Pig in the City, Bam Bam Rubble in the live-action film The Flintstones, and Froggy in The Little Rascals. Daly dated actor John Eric Hexum. He passed away from a self-inflicted blank cartridge gunshot to the head in a game of Russian roulette while on the set of Cover Up. And was his girlfriend at the time of his accidental death in 1984. She subsequently spent a short time living with her Valley Girl co-star Deborah Foreman for emotional support. Daly married poker player Rick Solomon, and they had 2 daughters and divorced in 2000, and she plays Lauren in this film.
There's also Cameron Dye, who was born April 9th, 1959. He is an American actor and singer, best known to Valley Girl fans as Fred, Tommy's loyal friend and one of the most memorable punks. Throughout the 1980s, Dye appeared in a string of culture favorites and comedies, including The Last Starfighter, Fraternity Vacation, Body Rock, National Lampoon's Joy of Sex, Scenes from the Gold Mine, Out of the Dark, and Men at Work. How many of those have you heard of?
Many.
What?
Really?
None.
I've heard of Fraternity Vacation, National Lampoon's Joy of Sex, and Men at Work.
Maybe Men at Work. But
Maybe
that's-
Men at Work.
I think that's just
I
because
just know
it's
the
a
band. Yeah.
I could be thinking of the band, but
Yeah,
I did
haven't
hear of
heard.
the other ones.
Okay, so beyond his film work, Dye is a founding member of the acclaimed theater company, The Actors Gang, where he has performed in numerous stage productions. While his career spanned film, television, music, and theater, he'll always have a place in 80s movie history as Fred, the loyal wingman who helped make Valley Girl one of the decade's most beloved cult classics. We also have Michael Bowen as Tommy, Heidi Holliker as Stacy, and Michelle Mayrink as Susie.
There always has to be a Stacy, it seems.
Yeah, especially in these 80s movies. It's a
Yes.
very popular name.
It
It's the
was.
song Stacy's Mom.
Right.
She's got it going
on.
She's got it going on.
Which makes sense for this. No, that was Susie's
No,
mom. Okay,
that was-
sorry. My bad.
Stepmom, we will discuss.
We'll
Yes.
discuss.
Yes. So this was released April 29th of 1983, and it is rated R. It had a budget of $3 million, and the box office brought in $17.3 million. So not too shabby.
Wow.
Sorry.
So in the opening weekend, it grossed $1.85 million at number 4. And the final domestic gross reached $17.3 million. So not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
So the filming began October 25th of 1982 at multiple locations around LA and West Hollywood. A remake has been made of this movie. In 2020, MGM released the movie to select drive-ins and video on demands due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And it stars Jessica Roth, Josh Whitehouse, Mae Whitman, Alicia Silverstone, and Judy Greer. And the box office for that was 7,700. Wow.
Wow.
What a pandemic will do to you.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have waited on that.
It's MGM.
Oh, well.
They didn't really need to.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think there was some controversy with the remake with one of the Paul brothers.
Oh,
Logan
yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't
watched
remember what it was.
I've never watched that version. I just
Neither
watched the preview of it online and I was like, this looks horrible. Horrible.
This is why remakes and sequels just don't go there, man.
Sometimes you just let sleeping
Let-
dogs lie.
Let perfection
It-
just
let
remain perfection.
Brilliant masterpieces live. If
See, like-
someone's, I'm going to remake David, right? And you're like,
Why?
See, like to me, it's when someone passes away. I kind of don't want to see them after they passed away. I want to remember them in their glory. Don't want that to be my last memory. I don't want to watch this Valley Girl remake and then have a negative connotation with it.
yeah,
I'm going to let the original lie.
yes, I agree.
Good thinking, Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Should we get into this movie? We have lots to discuss.
Yep. Let's do it.
Are you a PJ girly like me? I love a good PJ. I completely embody lazy girl weekends and am very particular about my cozy clothes. That's probably why I own 3 of Cozy Earth's bamboo sleep dresses. These sleep dresses are buttery soft, breathable, and most importantly, for those of a certain age, moisture wicking. I work and travel and find myself on flights quite often. Cozy Earth's bamboo jogger set is also made of that same soft, breathable, moisture wicking material and is the perfect travel day ensemble. Cozy Earth's products are a favorite among celebrities. For 7 consecutive years, Oprah included Cozy Earth on her favorite things list. And the brand has been featured on Good Morning America, InStyle, and Better Homes and Gardens. Customers echo this love with thousands of 5-star reviews. With free shipping on orders over $100, a 100-night sleep trial, and a 10-year warranty, Cozy Earth will bring lasting luxury and comfort into your home. Visit cozyearth.com and use code SHAWPODCAST, SHAA podcast at checkout and get 30% off your first order. By doing this, you help us earn a commission that supports us and the show. The movie opens with our MGM lion roaring, and it fades into an aerial shot of the greater LA area as you hear different radio announcers talking about the day ahead in LA, San Fernando Valley, etc. The song Girls Like Me begins to play, and we get kind of this intro sequence of the movie, and we see some girls shopping in a mall. We see credit cards and adding machines, like actual calculators. And so this was before
We don't use calculators anymore.
like no cash registers, right? It was just an adding machine and knuckle busters. And if you don't know, before swipe machine, kids, before credit card machines and communications to financial institutions, you didn't have that, which sounds so lovely, is that you handed over a credit card. It had no magnetic stripe on it. It had nothing in. It was literally your dad's name and the credit card number. And what they would do is they would basically make a rubbing of it with this machine that would go over. You'd put a credit card slip and you would swipe this machine over and it would imprint the credit card. And
Because back then your credit card number was raised.
it was
off your
raised.
card.
Yes.
Whoa.
I actually still have a credit card that is raised numbers. Which is crazy.
My debit card is like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
And so they made that rubbing of the credit card number. And so you would get one copy of it. They would keep one copy of it and another copy would go to accounting. And eventually it would show up on a credit card bill.
How did that get submitted?
What do you mean?
Like, would they mail it in? How did it actually get applied to your card?
See, I don't know if maybe they worked through mainframes and that's how it got posted to MasterCard. Or
I remember there being like a little pin pad type device that was like in a back room. And you would go in and you would punch in all the credit card numbers at the end of the night. And then you would put in like the total.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
And it would say, is this a Visa or MasterCard? Da, da, da. It was very like, there were a lot of questions. So you'd have to punch it in and just submit it to them.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could just go nuts. Right? Nothing.
I wonder what happened back in the day. There was no way to decline a credit card.
No. Those
Wow.
were days, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these girls are shopping, and I noted that everyone has weird shit pinned to their clothing.
I love these pins.
One was maybe a box of cookies.
Or like a can of spinach or something.
At some point, we see Julie, and she's got Woody Woodpecker.
Yes.
And I'm like, was this a thing? I think we're all too young to go, oh, this was a fad. And I don't have Tavia here. So I really want to know.
What?
Phone a friend.
I know.
I said get her.
Ooh,
Where's Angela?
I don't know, but she had just got up. So Tavia may be home now. Anyway, they're looking at some Bakelite. It looked like Bakelite, at least to me. Janine.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then Julie shopping. And I love that she holds up just this basic gilded blue sweatshirt.
Yeah, but didn't it have piano keys down there?
No, the one did. That was like
okay.
a cream color. But then she just kind of holds up this aqua colored one, and she's modeling it and was like, girl,
Like
that's a gilded sweatshirt you get at Walmart.
Yeah, you could just buy that at Michael's.
Yeah. And then they're all sitting around in the food court, in the background, the Limited.
Did you notice Chick-fil-A in the background?
And then Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Yeah.
How old is Chick-fil-A?
I was like, wow, Chick-fil-A is really old.
Yeah, old.
But I do think that it was very West Coast focused. I don't think us in the Midwest saw it till much, much later on.
Apparently.
Lauren is talking some nonsense to her friends about getting pregnant in peak Valley girl talk. Every word that came out of her mouth was peak Valley talk. And she's talking about being on birth control. And it was an interesting fade to a conversation. And the girls are all telling Julie how lucky she is to have such a bitchin' boyfriend. And the girls continue to go shopping. And Tommy, the boyfriend, shows up and Julie's mad at him. And I just want to pause here. I feel like this Tommy looks like a tiny baby Bradley Whitford.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yes. It was like, he's got to be related. They just have a lot of the same features. But she just like hella breaks up with him, telling him she's not in love with him anymore. It was hard.
Yeah,
it was.
I'm like not in love with you anymore.
I'm just like not in love with you anymore.
This is boring.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And so I just want to also clock here, like these kids don't drive yet because they're going to go and get on the bus. And we also see them later on in driver's ed. So these kids are all around like 15, 16, right? Let's just keep that in mind for the rest of this film. Next, the girls are all at the beach. They spot Randy like running all awkwardly. He was so like gangly. He's running on the sand and they just think that he's super hot. And Julie has the mirrored reflecting glasses on. And it was like complete. I had those glasses.
I didn't.
I think you have some mirrored reflected glasses as well.
I have some now.
No. Back then, the plastic ones with it, like when they first came out, they were the shit.
Yes, they were.
I bet Tavia had them. Yeah, she's agreeing. Hold on. There's a part in this movie where everyone has weird shit pinned to them. Was that a thing? Why? The one girl has a small can of spinach and a thing of cookies. Julie has a Woody Woodpecker. Pins were huge, no matter what they were. Okay.
I recall like smiley faces.
Yeah, that's a basic button.
No, they were like
gibbets. They were gibbets for your clothes.
Yes. Yep. Same idea.
Julie and Stacy are now getting ready to go to the party over at Susie's house. And Julie's room it's dedicated to Rick Springfield. And also on her nightstand, she has a Rolodex.
Yes.
I love
We
that.
still have Rolodexes at my work.
Do you?
Oh my
I love
God.
that. I love that. They're talking about Lauren and basically how loose she is. And they go and they're about to leave. And Julie's dad just full blown hits on Stacy. Like,
Yes.
but I
Like if
feel
I were
like
20 years younger,
if I was 20 years younger, but I just feel like any man in the 80s could have said that and you wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Yeah.
No, right.
These parents. I swear to God, I think originally I always thought that the dad was Bono. Not Bono.
Yes.
No, Sonny Bono.
Sunny.
Sonny
Sonny
Bono.
Bono, not Bono.
Yeah.
Sonny Bono. I always thought it was.
Yes.
It's not. And the mom is just like dweeby. They're both just sort of hippies.
Watching it now, I'm looking at, I'm like, oh my God, they look so young.
They do look
Yeah, they
so
do. Yeah.
like-
yeah, they do.
And they go and they reminisce about how banging their youth was and how the youth kind of like insinuating how the youth of today are so much more tame than their wild days. At the party, Tommy is talking to the guys, something about taking someone's parents' car. And so back at the mall, when the girls were talking to Julie about how bitchin' Tommy is, Julie was checking out this other guy that was at some food counter, and his name was Brad. And she was like totally drooling over him. These girls got hormones, I'll tell you. And Brad is at this party, and Julie goes to approach him because she obviously thinks enough of herself that this is a no-brainer, right? She's now just going to date Brad. But this dude blows her off, full blown, not even
Yeah.
polite.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Bye.
And here's where we come to see a subplot birth itself. Susie is in the kitchen with her stepmother, Beth. And we only hear the word stepmom once in this movie.
Yes. Yep.
Beth telling her boyfriend
Yes.
she's the stepmom, but everywhere else she is called mom throughout the entire movie. She's billed as Susie's mother. So was she lying to that guy?
Doesn't
Or-
she say something about her dad dying?
Died.
But she doesn't mention another mom. So it's like,
Exactly.
what is the story there?
Right. Is there a story there, or is that a goof? I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Is
Very
there a
confusing.
plot hole here? Is there a mom out there, or did the mom die?
Because then there's another, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but there's a point at the party where Fred approaches Stacy and he says something about, how's your mom doing? And Stacy's, my mom's dead.
Yeah.
So then it's like, huh, okay, so hold on. We'll get there. So Susie tells her mom, stepmom, or whatever the fuck she is, how much she likes this boy Skip. And basically, she really doesn't want her mom to screw it up. Because I guess now that the dad is dead, there's a little bit of competition there. And Lyle, who's Lyle? Because there's a point where Beth sends Lyle to go to answer the phone. Well, why is this guy answering your phone? Anyway, we see a lot of white kid dancing. Just all these 15 and 16-year-olds are drinking. But I think they're covert drinking. And like the parents are giving out like soda. I think. Beth is making sushi for everyone.
Covered in peanut butter.
What?
Sushi covered in peanut butter.
That was tuna.
Yeah. No,
Why-
that's peanut butter. I
Why
looked
were-
it up. Because I was like, what in the hell are they putting on that? I thought it was like sesame paste or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's peanut butter sushi.
Okay, that might explain something else here. Hold on. So there are just a lot of white people dancing.
Yes.
Tommy dances with one of the token black girls in the film. I think he's hitting on her, like how much he thinks of her or whatever. Susie spots Skip and waves him over and introduces Beth as her mother. Beth gives Skip fuck me eyes. Maybe. So that's where I was like, wait, so is Susie living with her stepmom and her new boyfriend, and both her dad and her real mom are dead? What are the relationships here? I'm so confused.
Me too. I thought the same thing. I'm like, she must be living with her stepmom because her parents died.
So what I think it is that is her actual mom. She's a creeper, and this boyfriend Lyle guy thinks that, because then there's another sister. There's the little sister too. It's so confusing.
Yeah, that like super like when the little sister's in the bedroom, I'm like, where did she come
Where
from?
does she come from?
Whose kid is that? Is it the stepmom and Lyle? Is it the stepmom and Susie's dad before he died? There's a lot of questions here.
I think Beth, because then there's another scene where Beth is out on a date.
Yeah.
Then to think that's not Lyle. And then
unless Lyle and her went out on a date together.
Possibly. I don't know. I think it's a goof. I
think it has
I think
to
it's a
be.
goof. Tommy runs into Lauren in the upstairs hallway and he just feeds her every line of bullshit humanly possible. And it works. This is when Randy and Fred arrive at the party.
Because Fred overheard Lauren tell the address to another girl for the party. And so he was eavesdropping and they just decided to come to the party.
Yes. Thank you for pointing that out.
Sorry. Because otherwise, how did they end up at this party?
Oh, right. Yes.
Oh, I thought we were doing this like Gia was your voice.
Obviously, Randy and Fred don't belong at this party with all these preppy valley kids. And these are these kind of Van Nuys punk rock kids. There's a girl. They kind of walk in. It's kind of like a step down living room. And there's this girl dancing with one of the guys. And she is literally the human version of Kira from Dark Crystal.
Yes.
I thought the same thing. I was like, whoa.
If Kira was a human valley girl, it was that girl.
Know exactly who you're talking about.
Susie is explaining sushi to Fred and Randy, which they find completely disgusting. Randy eats a shitload. He calls it pistachio paste. He's like, hey, is this pistachio paste? And he puts a bunch of it in his mouth. And I'm like, wait, that would have been wasabi, right? Because sushi, wasabi. But then you point out this whole peanut butter thing. And I'm like, because he has no reaction. He puts this.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, did he just put a whole bunch of wasabi in his mouth? Because he was just like, if I put that much wasabi in my mouth, I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah. Guys, I have a whole video of Barrett eating that amount of wasabi. And
oh God,
you have a reaction to that. And he had no reaction. So now I'm like, was pistachio paste a thing?
Was this like a buffet of like little kid food? You know how you can make sushi out of like fruit roll-ups?
Was it frushi?
Like Rice Krispie treats or something?
Lucy was saying, oh, this is tuna and this is raw, blah, blah, blah. And then that one valley boy was like eating the sushi and he's like,
oh my God.
He was digging it.
Sushi.
With like the collar up on his polo.
He was like completely popped.
Yes.
So Tommy and Lauren are in Susie's bedroom. And I think this was the first time when I first saw this movie at a completely inappropriate age to see boobies. I remember like, because this was the first time I think I kind of saw a date and I was like, I need a day bed. And I don't think I ever got one. Maybe I had, no, I didn't even have a day bed up in the attic. I just had the bottom half of the bunk bed. So it wasn't until mom and dad moved into their current house that a day bed ever showed up. And I just want to
You were
like,
really deprived.
I was really deprived. And now when I go sleep there and I sleep on that, I'm like, this is really inconvenient.
It really
Would
is.
you like the bunk beds? I have the bunk beds.
Do you?
Yep.
I kind of want them. Okay. So Tommy and Lauren are in Susie's bedroom and he's like, I've thought about you. And she just falls hook, line, and sinker for this fucking dude. And he makes it, he's like, I think about you. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I thought about you all day. And he just dives into her boobs. This is when Randy and Julie like engage for the first time. They kind of lock eyes. And he goes over and talks. He goes over and talks to her. And she's just like, who invited you? Because obviously he doesn't belong. And he kind of makes this comment about, oh, okay, I get it. You had to have an invitation so you would know it was a costume party. Go back to Tommy and Lauren, and they're done doing whatever they were doing. And Lauren wants to know if they're now boyfriend and girlfriend. And he's like, absolutely not. No, you're a shitty friend for doing this to Julie. Completely turns it around on her. But you know what? I'll do you a favor, and I'm not going to tell anyone.
What a fucking douche. But I feel like we all knew a guy like this, or this happened to them.
100%. Yes, absolutely. We all knew this guy. We all know this guy. Like this person, these people exist in the world.
Yeah. I think
not a caricature.
I'm going to guess that most of the people that are in our age range have had a similar experience.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, fuck that guy.
So this kind of goes back to the whole dead parents thing. So Fred approaches Stacy. He's like, so how's your mother? And she responds, she's dead. And she walks away. And that's where I'm like, are there multiple dead moms? Anyway, we're going to move past it. Tommy sees Julie talking to Randy. And like most people, your immediate reaction would be to walk over to the guy and punch him, which is what Tommy does. The jocks kick Randy and Fred out and they leave, but Randy decides he has to go back for Julie. He sneaks back into the house. But
I have to interrupt because I feel like there was an important part here.
Okay.
Where Lauren comes down the stairs after getting rejected by Tommy. And when she turns that corner, you can see it on her face that she actually might think that this fight is about her.
Oh.
The fight, like the look on her face is what just happened, because she sees Tommy arguing about something and she backs up like, oh shit. And she looks over at Julie. Was that about me? And then she quickly realizes that he's actually fighting with Randy. So she's kind of, oh, thank God that wasn't about me. So I think, at least the gist I got was that she comes down the stairs and believes that maybe he came downstairs and was like, hey, I just fucked Lauren, which he did to his friends.
But why would he get in a fight with somebody?
Like, if you look at it closely, because I watched it a couple times, I'm like, oh, the look on her face is, what am I walking into?
Like more shocked than you would think if you were just watching this fight go on.
Yeah. And
like
so
because
she doesn't know what's happening. And so when she comes down the stairs and looks around the corner, it's like, what is going on? At least that's the story I'm making up in my head, is that like, it looks like she looks at them like, oh my God, what did I cause?
Interesting. It's a hot take. I could see it.
So Randy comes back for her.
Oh, yeah. Randy
Sorry.
comes back and he sneaks into the house and he goes into the bathroom and he hides in the shower. It takes forever for Julie to come into the bathroom to do whatever. And so he grabs her or he's like, let's go somewhere, anywhere, who cares?
He flawlessly shows up right behind her while she's staring in the mirror. You're coming out of a shower stall, dude, and you made no noise, and then he just pops up out of nowhere.
Like, oh, hey, why are you there?
Right.
She grabs her friend Stacy, makes her come with her, and they leave with the guys in their very large convertible. And it looks like they're kind of driving down the 405 into Hollywood, West Hollywood, Sunset area. And it's just a music montage. It's nighttime. You see some cops. They drive by Mann's Chinese Theater. There's an Empire Strikes Back billboard. The Rainbow Room, the Roxy, Pussycat Theater. And Randy is just friends with everyone along Sunset. Everyone knows him. And he's like the mayor of Sunset Boulevard. They go to a club. They go to a club that they frequent. And I thought it was interesting that on the sign, there's a sign behind like where they're getting like patted down or ID checked or whatever. Whatever. It said Burning Sensations, Katie Seagal. And I was like, that's weird. Is that the same Katie Seagal as from Married with Children? And I looked it up, and she actually was a backup singer for Bette Midler.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
I know.
The more you know.
The more you know. And so and she is actually in the movie. And we'll talk
Hold
about
up.
that later on. The dates on there. So I think they do a really good job on the continuity of like the timeline of this movie. Because on the sign, it shows that the shows with the Plimsolls and the Pearly Kings are May 23rd and May 25th, which kind of goes along with this time as we're coming up to prom or this junior prom. So we see mohawks, and you know exactly how those were made, right? At least Janine does. Like
Elmer's glue.
Elmer's glue. See, like any of my friends with mohawks used egg whites.
Elmer's glue. And egg whites.
And egg whites.
But
Egg
I
whites.
feel like
that wash
Elmer's
out?
It's hard. A lot of hot water.
I think egg whites are healthy for your hair, but glue, wow.
Yeah.
Because egg
Elmer's
whites
glue.
almost act as, yeah, anyway.
And then later on, it
Anywho,
was like that. Oh, what was that hard? I can't remember the name of the hairspray that was like hard as nails or something. And it was like literally you'd spray it in your hair. It was like a helmet.
yeah, like even like worse than Aquanet. It was like plastic.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Yeah. So we got some early techno rock, but this was also, the scene is very reminiscent to Pretty in Pink when Andy takes Blaine to her club. Kind of like the
Yes.
same vibe. And you can just see that Julie's mind is blown.
Like
There's
culture
this
shock.
whole world outside of their bubble, right? And she makes this point of pointing out like how they're from different worlds, or he points that out. And Randy's kind of talking to her about how programmed they are, the people from the valley. And you think this is going badly, but then Julie starts talking about like, oh, I don't know, this is just so crazy. We have this connection. And it like that whole scene culminates in this, they kiss, and it's kind of this like behind them shot. And it's at the apex of that song where he's talking about I'm a million miles away. It's just a really cool scene. It's just a great scene.
It is.
The next scene, they're back up, I don't know, Griffith Park or somewhere, I don't know. Make it out in a car. And then Fred and Stacy are just running around the car.
Yeah,
So I don't
he's
know if they're
like chasing.
flirting, or does she like it? But she doesn't like, I don't understand Fred and Stacy. And I don't think I ever do understand Fred and Stacy because they're just not the focus of the movie. Julie does get home in the morning, but she's got really cool parents who let her decide for herself, but they're still worried. And she walks in, and the mom, if that's a yoga pose, I don't know it. I'm not saying I'm anywhere near a yoga guru, but that to me feels like a pose. Like if I was like 6 and I was like watching TV, that maybe I'd be in that pose on your back with,
Or if you're trying to fertilize an egg.
or you're trying to fertilize. Yeah, you're trying to get pregnant. I don't know. And she has like pantyhose on, what looked like full blown pantyhose. So I don't understand. Anyway.
And you can see right through them.
And you can see right through them. And they like non-yell at her. But next days or whatever, the girls are at school in driver's ed. Julie is driving and the girls are all gossiping with each other. It must be like that Monday at school. The driver's ed teacher is pissed. They will not stop talking. And he actually tucks and rolls out of the car. And Julie fails. Julie fails driver's ed.
Makes
we then
sense.
see Beth.
As well, she should have.
I know. Oh, absolutely. Then we see Beth, remember Susie's mom, sitting poolside. She's on her cordless phone, which 1983, that is like fancy.
Pretty cool.
And it appears she's stock trading, which I love, this like boss bitch like scene. Like
Mhm.
she's dumping Sohio and asking about cocoa futures. And Skip just happens to stop by with a grocery delivery. And this is the weirdest scene
It is.
because I think I always thought that the mom was slimy, but she doesn't do anything in this scene outside of being like uncomfortably close to him.
And he has
Yeah.
a bug on his ear.
He?
Yeah.
That's
That's
so
the only thing I notice about that whole scene is like when they get up close, he's got this black bug on his ear. And I'm like, ew, what's on his ear? And then eventually it flies away.
that's so funny.
Nobody could swat the bug away for him.
They were on a roll with the scene, man. They didn't want to redo it.
I guess.
I need to see this bug.
It's just like this little black bug. And I was like, oh, maybe he just has a birthmark there, a freckle or something. But then it flies away and you're like, oh, it was a bug.
Yeah, I can't tell about the mom in this scene. She's trying to get him to say something that he doesn't say. But
It's a
then
teenage kid. What do you want him to say? Oh, come
I would
inside
like
and
I would like
take
to
off
have
your
the
clothes.
sex with you. I don't know. I can't. Oh, and that's a G. That's a G on that bag. I bet that's Gibson's because that'd be a fancy grocery store in Southern California. But anyway, then she's, I got a little tip for you, Skip. Plastics. And then she has this realization and she backs off of him. It's a strange scene. It's just a strange scene. I think it just
Yeah.
goes to show Skip's infatuation with Beth, not necessarily Beth wanting Skip.
Like she had these Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah.
Like, what were the innuendos? Like,
I think it was like supposed to be sexual tension between them. And she wanted him to make the first move. But he's a teenage kid and he doesn't know how to.
right.
Okay. We could read into that, I'm sure. But
And then she's like,
oh, wait,
forward or not. Like
if it was-
Susie's going to be home soon, so we can't do that.
I feel like if that was Tommy, it'd be a completely different situation.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So what did
Um,
plastics have to do with what was she telling him?
Buy stock in plastics.
She told him to buy stock in plastics, which
Thanks.
would have been a really good idea at that point in time.
Thanks, Beth.
So now we're at the Foods for Health restaurant / store. And Julie is working there when Randy shows up. And her and Randy escape the Foods for Health. Her parents are just, they're so interesting that they have this kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are these two hippie parents like living in the San Fernando Valley and raising this valley girl? It's just so interesting. They're so opposite to her. Anyway, so then we're at the montage point and I Melt With You starts to play. And that is what launched this band in the United States. Anyway, so we go to a montage. We see Winchell's, which is a donut place that is delicious. We do to stop there when we are down in that area. They go by the hot club or the hot tub club, Encino Bowl, Dupar's, Sherman Oaks Theater. They're talking on the phone with each other. She's laying in her bed. He's standing at a payphone because he obviously has no home. They're kissing on the beach. They're kissing outside her house. They're sitting at the mall having some pie. And in that scene, he's got, you guys don't care about it. But in that scene, he's got a Tangerine Dream shirt on.
Yes.
And
I
I
noticed
love-
it right away.
Did you? Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I love that. I love that for him that he's wearing that. So now we've got the girls and Tommy. They're at school. Tommy is such a fucking gaslighting, manipulated fuck. He thinks the friends need to really set Julie straight. And Lauren throws some super shade at him. And it like confuses Stacy and Susie. What's her problem? Then we see, then in the next scene, we got a sleepover. They're playing Girls Like Me again. And all the girls are dancing in their underwear, as one does.
I don't remember ever doing that.
I feel like I attended a fair amount of sleepovers as a youth. At no point do I ever remember being in my underwear.
Me either.
And I don't know if that was just the Catholic in us. So the girls are talking about eating disorders. I do love that Lauren is like, that's serious, guys. They talk about splurging and purging, scarfing and barfing. Like they're literally
in the valley, looks is everything.
Right. But literally they're in the same room that Lauren and Tommy made out at. And like Julie's like sitting right there.
They don't know that.
But Lauren knows that. And that's why I'm like, how does this girl not have a conscience to be like, dude, I messed around with your dude right there? Like, how could you just be so
nonchalant
that you broke a fucking rule?
Yeah, but she probably feels like shit about it. And Tommy took advantage of her.
But I don't know. That's shady as fuck. Anyway.
She's a shitty friend for doing that.
She is a shitty friend. And the tiny Susie, I don't even know if that child was given a name.
The child.
The weird child. She's like the child from One Crazy Summer. I guess it went through the mom's lingerie drawers. And so then the girls go in there and they all sort of start trying on the mom's lingerie. And I'm just so glad. I never did that.
Yeah, no.
Nope. Sorry.
Kip calls, but it's obvious. It seems like he's fishing to see if the mom is there. Because Susie invites him over. Hey, come on over. And then he's like, no, my mom has things for me to do after he finds out that the mom isn't actually there. Julie proceeds to draw some face because now she's so punk rock. And then they get into a conversation about Julie outcasting herself. But then the whole conversation turns into the size of wieners. And you can...
Yeah,
you can tell by the look on Julie's face. Her friends are shallow. The next scene and the music is Eaten by the Monster of Love, which is a great song. Skip is on a bike. He is on Susie's street. He's heading to Susie's, but he's not heading to Susie's. But you can tell he really wants this mom. And he lets himself into the house. The house is unlocked. He lets himself in. He pretends he's there to return a book that he picked up in the house. And he goes up and you can tell he's entering a master bedroom. And we know it's not Susie's bedroom because we know what Susie's bedroom looks like. So you know he's going into the parents' bedroom and that somebody is in that shower. Julie and Lauren are at Dupar's, which is like a diner, like a deli. Yeah. Huh? Diner?
A diner deli.
Diner deli. And they're talking about the Tommy Randy situation. And Randy's just so tubular, or Tommy's so tubular, I think. And Lauren she just really doesn't know what advice to give Julie because she knows that Tommy's a piece of shit. But she also understands like whatever Valley code they have, they're fucking the pink ladies or something. And we go back to Susie's house and we see clothes all over the floor and two people in a bed. We don't know who. And you see somebody come into the house. The house is all dark. if you're really paying attention, you do see who it is who enters the house. But then it ends by Beth walking into her own bedroom, and Susie and Skip are having the sex in the parental bed. Julie's at home talking to her dad. Her dad's full blown making some macrame, like the hippie that he is. I love it. Julie's talking to him about the situation going on, the Tommy Randy situation, and he gives her some solid advice. And she goes to bed, and she is in bed with the scariest fucking clown doll I have ever seen.
Oh my God.
What is with that thing?
Life. Terrifying. So I don't know if this is a childhood doll, if it's something Randy gave her. I don't know, but no. No. She's tossing, she's turning. She meets up with the girls again, and Julie ultimately chooses Tommy in order to stand the good graces of her friends. He just so happens to show up, and the girls all bail. And he's gross. He's acting contrite, but he's just gross, and he just eats her food. Randy shows up to Julie's house because he's unaware of any of the things that are going on. And she is an absolute asshole to him.
Yes, she is.
He tells her that he loves her, and then she breaks up with him. And he knows this is not how she feels. He knows this is her friends. It's your fucking friends. And he tells her to fuck
This
off.
scene is so good.
It's so good. And he's like, fuck off for sure. Like, totally. Like, it's so
It's so
fantastic.
funny.
It's so good. So he goes and gets absolutely annihilated. He goes to the club. He has some sex with his ex-girlfriend. And that scene goes on way too long.
Yeah.
Way too long. Like, I had actually gotten up and gone and did something else and came back, and the scene was still going on.
I fast forward through it because I'm like, oh my God.
It just went on for way too long. And he's outside the club, and he's drunk. I don't know if he gets like a cigarette flicked at him, and he gets his ass kicked. But Fred finds him. He gives him Fred is like, he's such a sweet kid. And he has no chances with any girls, right? He's such a great sidekick. But he gives him a really good pep talk to go get her. Do the wild and crazy stuff, the romantic shit. Julie's getting picked up for school by her friend. I don't know which friend was picking her up.
Yeah, it was like some random girl we haven't seen before.
I know. And Randy gets in the car. And she's like, get out of the car.
The woman who's driving, the mom, she's like, young man.
Then just keeps driving.
But then, yeah. Julie and Stacy are in Julie's room and listening to the radio. And there's a radio dedication to Julie, his favorite Valley girl. Like, come back soon, you know? Inside her textbook are multiple photo booth pics of Randy inside of it. How he did that, I really don't know. At the Sherman Theater, he is the ticket taker. He tells Tommy his face is 3D. At the drive-in food place, burger joint, he's the guy who brings the food out. He spits his gum on Tommy.
Peter Piper.
And then one of the last things we see is him sleeping on Julie's lawn when Julie looks outside.
Very say anything moment.
Yeah, a very say anything moment. Randy and Fred are standing up on whatever hill they go to. And at the end of that convo, Randy pulls out a tuner, a kazoo. What did he pull out?
So awesome.
What is it? I'm going to say this because I know Alana doesn't listen. I Nicolas Cage sort of looks like her boyfriend.
Aw.
See, Tavia did not disagree with me.
Young Nicolas Cage.
There's a little, yeah, she sees it in the eyes. Yeah, there's a little Coppola in Jared there. Okay, here we go. Hold on. That's what I think. I was like, is that a tuner? Hold on. It doesn't make any noise.
Oh, it might be a tuner.
But a tuner around and they hit a key. This is like him just blowing air through it. Hold on.
It's like one of those little kid whistles that you'd get like in a gumball machine or like a
It's
like as a
kid
prize from
harmonica.
Kenny.
Yeah, I think it's a kid's harmonica because he goes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. The girls are getting ready for the junior prom. This is like, I don't think any dance I ever went to had streamers. I really don't recall ever having streamers and shit. I'm sure
Maybe you just weren't paying attention to him, Kristen. Like crepe paper?
Yeah. The girls are getting ready for junior prom. Julie looks great. I want that dress. Tommy arrives. The dad is in the bathroom smoking a joint. And it's all to the background of this weird Asian bongo drum music. It's real weird. The mom is rubbing the dad. Really.
It's super creepy.
It's
really
super
hard.
creepy, but then also shaking him. It's really weird.
Yeah. It's like, we're not in Bangkok. I don't need a massage. What is this?
At the dance, school is playing, I think it's Josie Cotton. We're just going to go with that.
Yes.
And people are arriving. Julie and Tommy arrive in a limo. Randy and Fred arrive. And Fred has a plan. Inside, Tommy keeps trying to kiss Julie, but she's having none of it. It's like she's mad at him. So it's kind of weird because, I don't know, she chose to get back with him. I don't know. I don't understand it's kind of like, what movie? I'm not going to remember this. We had a movie where it was like, everything was fine. Oh, it was like Flash Gordon, where what's her name was like, I'm totally fine getting married to this guy. And then all of a sudden she's like, anyway, Johnny, Are You Queer? By Josie Cotton also starts playing. And everyone is like jamming out. And Susie, so the punch, I've never been at a dance where there's a punch bowl either. Susie, a student, was responsible for bringing all the cups. Okay. Susie shows up with Skip with a huge thing of cups. And Lauren is like, have you been getting laid, Susie? And I think that was hilarious. I think it was a hilarious comment. And we go back to seeing the singers on the stage. And I believe the backup singer on the left-hand side is Katie Seagal as the background singer. Katie Seagal, most known for being the mom on, what was it called? Married with Children.
Yes. Sorry.
Tommy and Julie are brought backstage prior to the King and Queen announcement. And Miss Lieberman gets up and gives this speech that is just, I couldn't come up with a word outside.
It's just ridiculous.
Outside of fetch. It was so fetch. Anyway, it was horrible. Randy confronts Tommy backstage, but Tommy just starts to kick his ass. And then there's this whole Karate Kid moment that happens. But Randy punches him back and lays him out. And Randy takes Julie and they walk down the stage. And Tommy ultimately comes after them. And Julie throws a plate of guacamole in his face and they escape. And they hop into Tommy's limo and they leave. And then a food fight just completely ensues inside. And the driver of the limo, as they're pulling away, says, "Valley Sheraton, sir." And it's just quiet. And I Melt With You starts to play. Scene.
The funny part is that when they get into that limo, it's like a Chrysler LeBaron limo or something.
Okay.
But then when they're like on the road, it's like an actual limo. It's two different cars.
Is it?
Yeah. to me, it's really obvious. Maybe other people don't notice it, but I'm like, those are two totally different cars.
Yeah. So that looks like a LeBaron, a LeBaron limo. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
So like the aerial shot, you're like, that's a regular limousine.
And then the interior shot is just them on a studio set. Okay. Now I see what you're talking about. Then they're in a stretch limo all of a sudden.
Right.
But it's just an exterior shot.
Yeah.
So that's a goof. That seems like a goof.
At least to me it was.
I see what you're saying. Because then what you're getting on the highway is also a stretch limo.
Right.
But I guess we only see the limo. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a goof. They're not in a stretch limo when they leave. They're just in a
Correct.
regular ass car.
It's like the limo version of a Chrysler LeBaron. It's weird.
Well, there was a LeBaron limo, kind of. But then what they're seen in after that is a stretch limo, meaning
Right.
the extra set of doors. I don't know. I don't know limo
Yeah.
speak. Valley Girl.
So the Metascore is actually generally favorable. It gets a 66. And the user score is also generally favorable at 7.5. And the IMDb rating is 6.4 out of 10. And that's based off of 21,000 reviews. So, I mean, it got a pretty decent score.
Decent.
I guess we could talk about what the critics said about it. Like our boy Roger Ebert, he gave it a 3 out of 4 and said this movie is a little treasure, a funny, sexy, appealing story of a Valley girl's heartbreaking decision. Should she stick with her boring jock boyfriend or take a chance on a punk from Hollywood?
Oh, Roger.
It's weird that he likes this movie, but then other movies he hates them.
I'm still wrapping my head around that.
I agree with him.
Yes.
It is
look-
really interesting that this is the teenage comedy that he likes.
Yeah, it is. It's like out of all the movies,
It was
this is
very well acted. It was very well directed.
but it was
But
like
you're
written.
right. You're
It was
right.
written in 10 days.
Like-
and it had a really low budget.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, it's
shocking.
kind of
That,
like Pee-wee, where it's like he wrote a 90-page script, right? Or a 90-minute movie. That's the secret sauce. Maybe just churning out a script was its secret sauce. But I agree.
yes. Yeah. And then Janet Maslin, she gave it 2 out of 5 and said, with characters as dimensionless as these, the film needs either greater irony or greater sympathy than it demonstrates.
Screw off, Janet.
Yeah, I really don't agree with her. I don't know. She must just be a really different person than me. I feel like her reviews are never what I feel. So TV Guide magazine gave it 75. I'm not sure what that means. And they said this simplified Romeo and Juliet tale was written and performed with such heart and care that it is impossible to dislike. The cast is wonderful, headed by the engaging couple of Cage and Foreman, and wittily directed by Coolidge. Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
I agree.
Variety gave it a 70 and said, Valley is very good simply because director Martha Coolidge obviously cares about her 2 lead characters and is privileged to have a couple of fine young performers, Nicolas Cage and Deborah Foreman, to make the audience care. Yeah, agreed.
Okay, yeah. And where did you guys watch this? What platform?
I watched it on YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
As did I.
Yeah.
So you can watch it on YouTube, Pluto, Tubi, and Plex for free. Or if you have a subscription at MGM Plus, Sling TV, Amazon Prime Video, or Philo, you can watch it there with subscriptions, or you could also purchase it on Fandango or Apple TV or Google Play Movies.
Why is Google Play Movies more expensive than anybody else?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Freaking Google. Freaking Google. All right, I'll start out the cringe meter.
Please do.
So, first and foremost, I absolutely love this movie. but it was, and I've seen it 5 billion trillion times. But it wasn't until this time that I noticed all the cringe in it, which of course is the one song and what we have seen in many other 80s movies are the boys taking advantage of the girls, all sorts of gaslighting. Don't really like how all that is played out. So some of that was cringy for me. So I'm going to give it a kind of cringe. We know that a remake did not go well, but I don't know that it was in the best format or the best direction or
the
best
timing.
time. So I don't know. I don't think this should be remade in a better fashion. Just let it lie how it is. The acting is, I feel, awesome. I know Nicolas Cage is known in his latter years as not being in the best movies, but I feel he did amazing in this movie. And he portrayed the character very well. He was funny, charming.
I don't want to I'm interrupting you because I'm going to forget to bring this up. The cover of Valley Girl, like the movie poster of Valley Girl.
What's with that?
Can you explain that to me? First of all,
Yes, I can.
He's got punk rock colored hair, and then that's not even her.
No.
Yes. So what they did was they hired an artist to make the art for the movie before, who's the actress that plays Julie?
Deborah Foreman.
So Deborah Foreman, before she was actually cast on the movie, this was the picture that they had in their head of what Julie would look like. And instead of, after casting her, updating that art, they didn't want to pay for the artist to update it. And so, yeah, so they just kept it.
I'm sorry, but Carol, go on. We can talk about this later. But I just paused the movie and I was like, that's not even remotely her.
No, it's not
this
her.
This is like the original form of catfishing.
Ooh. Yeah. And so I think later on they had interviewed her about that, and they were like, did it bother you that they didn't use your picture? And she was like, she made some sort of offbeat comment about it, like she wasn't worth the money to update the poster or something. And so you could tell that she was a little not happy about that.
Little peeved.
Rightly so, yeah. Honestly.
I mean, they should have waited to hire an artist to make that.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to give it a kind of cringe. I don't really know what to say on if it aged well. Parts of it did. Parts of it have. But parts of it is just super outdated that just will not coincide with today's day and age. So I'm going to digress on that one. But I will definitely watch it again, especially being that it's actually free on so many platforms. That's awesome. That's my take.
All right. I have a hard time between kinda and totally. Let me talk that out. So, yes, I think that obviously the relationship between Beth and Skip is pretty disturbing. Is that I feel like from the moment that her daughter mentioned this boy that she was interested in, that Beth was like, oh, him? Yeah, I'm going to try and put my claws into that. Immediately, she was giving him the gaga eyes and, oh, wow, he is pretty attractive for a teenage boy. And I know that the 80s were a different time, but I don't know that this was even acceptable back then. You don't think that adults were like pining over teenage boys? I don't know, because I wasn't an adult back then. But I'm assuming that it wasn't acceptable back then either.
You also have movies like The Graduate, stuff like that.
Yeah, and
nothing happens.
No, nothing does happen. So Skip had every intention of it happening. He went into that house assuming that Beth was there.
Yeah.
He was going to go, which is creepy in itself. And the fact that he goes into her house to essentially, I don't know, he's assuming that something is going to happen. And then when he hears the shower running and looks in there, he thinks it's Beth.
Oh, absolutely.
So, absolutely. I mean, that to me is pretty cringy. And I remember as a kid thinking that was cringy. The way that the mom reacted to him when she first saw him was cringy. The pool scene where he delivers the groceries was cringy. And then the fact that he sneaks in the house to find the mom, it's cringy. That's the one thing that really sticks out to me. The other thing that sticks out to me is obviously the fact that there's not a lot of diversity in this movie. And I guess it's accurate for where this is set, but it's also kind of cringy to me that there's like, at least from what I remember, that there's only really one Black person in this movie. And there
was a lot on Sunset Boulevard and in
right.
Club. But
right.
And even at Susie's party there, I believe there were 2 or 3.
Is there diversity in the valley at that time? I mean,
No,
it's going off of demographic.
I get that. I'm thinking in this day and age, is it considered cringy? Yes. I think that there are some other small parts that are cringy. You know, Tommy making out with Lauren, how he treats her is cringy to me, that we all knew guys like that. I'm sure there are still guys that exist like that. I don't know. I haven't dated anybody in 30 years. But the way that he acts, and it's not acceptable. It wasn't acceptable then. It's not acceptable now. So I'm going to say it's kind of cringy. But I also absolutely love this movie. It's like one of my very favorite movies. I quote it quite often. I love the storyline of this movie.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack is fucking epic. And I love Nicolas Cage in this movie. I'm not normally a Nicolas Cage lover, but I love him in this movie. I love that he's punk. I love that there's this bad boy, good girl relationship. I think it's great. It's like, it keeps you very engaged. At least watching it now, it's all quintessential nostalgia. And you're like, oh my God, I remember that. Oh my God, I remember that. We weren't Valley girls, but a lot of this was stuff that we had, and a lot of
mall culture.
Yeah, the mall culture was like a big thing. So, of course, I'm going to rewatch it. I've watched it countless times. So I'm going to watch it again if it comes on. If I saw it, the only thing that I can actually flip through channels really would be like Sling. So like if I saw it on Sling, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm going to put that on and watch it. You know, they did make a remake of it.
Excellent. I almost feel like the question for did it age well? Where's it on the cringe meter? And would you suggest other people rewatch it? We've already rewatched it, right? It's not, I almost feel as we grow this podcast, we kind of hone in on what questions should we actually be asking. Is someone out there who hasn't seen this since 1983 or 1986, should they rewatch it? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we have
1000%.
Where I think you say, guys, don't waste your time. Just leave this where it is. I almost feel like the question we should answer is, should you rewatch it?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yep.
Should you rewatch this? Absolutely. It is a gem of a movie.
It is.
I'll go low end a kinda on this. I don't think there's anything in this movie that's outwardly cringe because it was the 80s. There was the time. You can't instill future morals and ethics on a movie that was made before those existed. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
So that's unfair. Today, is it cringy? I still don't feel like it is. I don't. They did remake it, but could they remake it and tweak a few little parts of it? Sure. But I don't think that there was anything in it. Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but I've been studying for this certification and I have stuff on in the background. And on Sling, there's a whole channel dedicated to the show Hunter.
I don't know what that is.
No, it wasn't Hunter. Weeds. It was Weeds.
Oh.
Weeds. Love that show.
There's
a great
a Weeds
show.
channel.
There's a Weeds and Nurse Jackie channel on Sling. Dude, go.
Keep that on 24/7.
It is an episode of Weeds where I don't even know the characters' names anymore, but one of the guys had blackface on. And I'm like,
Ooh.
oh, no, he blackfaced himself to impersonate an officer. It was so cringy. There was in this. I didn't feel like appropriation or anything that is truly offensive.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
find
agree.
it. So I'm going to go real low on the cringe on kinda. And did it age well? Yes, I think it aged well, and I think you should rewatch it.
Agreed.
Is this a Hall of Fame worthy?
I don't remember, because I think Hall of Fame is if it's not really, and we're going to rewatch it, it's Hall of Fame worthy. But I think we can also readjust those parameters at any time. I think that, I don't know, it's up to you guys. I think it is Hall of Fame worthy.
I think it is.
I agree.
I think it's one of the best. If we're categorizing Hall of Fame by the best of the best 80s movies that people should rewatch, this is definitely in that category.
I think it's Hall of Fame eligible.
I agree.
Agreed.
I think we all agree, so that means
I think it gets in.
welcome to the Hall of Fame, Valley Girl. We love you.
Well, fuck you! Now fuck off for sure! Like, totally!
All right. And that's Valley Girl, proof that every one of us had at least one spectacularly bad crush on the guy our parents warned us about. You know the one. Leather jacket, punk clubs, and absolutely no interest in following the rules, which obviously just made him hotter.
And your best friend? She didn't just witness the drama, she got recruited into it. Every breakup, every bad decision, every "do you think he likes me?" conversation. That was just part of the job description when you were 16.
It's Aquanet and Swatches, Orange Julius and Sam Goody, mixtapes, new wave, and just enough teenage melodrama to remind you why 80s movies still hit differently.
And honestly, Nicolas Cage with that smile, we never stood a chance.
Totally bitchin', for sure. And yeah, after all these years, Valley Girl still holds up.
Thank you for hanging out with us at the Shermer High Alumni Association. If you've had as much fun as we did, do us a favor, follow the show, leave us a review, and tell your fellow Brat Pack fans where to find us. Until next time, be kind, rewind, and we'll catch you at the movies. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Hold on. Gia's going to lose her shit here. Hold on.
La 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 la. Gia loses her shit. La 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 la. Gia's losing her shit.
Davey's doing a little dance.
It's nice. Let's all go to the bathroom. Let's all go to the bathroom. Let's all go to the bathroom and have ourselves a pee.